What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man.
Another episode.
Bro, loving life, man.
How's your week been?
It was good. So, y'all know we've been on this whole robotics journey last week.
Yeah.
You know, dropped them off and then came back, right? And then went back to the robotics tournament. But it's official. They made state.
Hey,
and so
let's go.
Hey, man, listen. Man, shout out to the Super Robotic Eagles. Not only they made state, but then they got first place in robot design, and so it was good. And you can see like on their face because we in the gym.
And Few probably had a big role in that, right?
He's the captain.
Yeah,
he's the captain, and it was good, man. Like, and it's funny because we were leaving, and I was like, "How'd that feel?" Feel good. That he's like, it feel good, and that's the thing, and that's how all the the struggle and all the we talked about it. Starting in fourth grade and being bored, and if we had let him quit like that much more,
right?
Because he's competed the last 2 years, but they haven't made state. But the fact that you're the captain, you're the leader, like you're the oldest, like you're the one who has helped coaching everybody, helped calming everybody down and all, like they did great, man. So all the kids, Keegan and all of them, like they did good, man. That's so they made state, man. That's so December 13th.
Is it here in the city?
Yes, it's here.
Okay.
But December 13th, so they were actually yesterday back on the grind, back in the lab. So I was like, it's time to get after it. So he did it, man.
That's what's
he
up.
did it, man.
Congratulations, nephew.
So yeah, man. So that's
stick with it.
My week, man. That's really just was the big thing for us. But other than that, man, I'm always blessed, man. Ain't no need to complain, man.
Yeah, I'm in like the eye of the storm right now. Like it's quiet, but it's coming. Like the storm is coming.
You sound scared.
Man, the son got his basketball schedule.
Oh, yeah.
I think his first game is against Foothill later this month.
Yeah, it's happening.
So he's starting his high school basketball career.
Trey, let's go.
Look, baby boy, I'm actually coaching his team.
Basketball?
That starts, second week of December?
Oh, okay.
Because the first week we going to be out of town. I'm going back home to see the Bucks game, so we won't be here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're gonna go see the Bucks play them sorry Saints.
Yeah, y'all should beat them.
We should.
Y'all better not lose.
I thought, man,
I'm going to the game Monday.
I be trying to pick games where I know my team's gonna win, because I'm that type of I don't want to go see a game we might lose. I mean, in it's any sport you have the chance of losing, but obviously there's those teams that you're like, it's gonna be a tough one.
I'm opposite. I need my team to lose. So I'm gonna be at the game on Monday. So
the Raiders?
The Monday night game, Cowboy Raider game. So
that's big time.
Yeah, I got surprised for my birthday.
That's what's up.
It's cool.
From the Queen?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to you.
Yeah, she.
Shout out to hooking my boy up.
That's cool. Hey, but like I said, they need to lose.
What y'all in the lottery for a quarterback or something?
Yeah, because we got our draft pick. Like Dak is. All right,
y'all ain't moving off Dak. Stop it.
They need to. Like he good, but he not great. When we need him the most, he gonna come up short.
Is Dak Prescott Baker Mayfield?
No,
he's worse or better.
No, I will put Baker over Dak.
Okay.
I mean, because Baker, the proof is in the pudding. Just look at how Baker has ascended. I think also part of it is Dak is good. Don't get me wrong.
Baker gave his life to Christ. That's what happened.
Maybe he got saved for real.
He got saved for real.
Have a Bible study with Dak. Maybe that's
Dak probably just need Jesus. That's it.
If he got him, he needs to just
rededicate in the Cowboy facility. It's me.
Well, actually, I don't know if he still is, but Pastor Evans' son was the chaplain for the Cowboys.
Pastor Evans,
Tony Evans.
Oh,
his son. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he still is, but I'll be at the game.
That's
what
I'm
saying. Man. But shout out, nephew. It is coming, yo. Your storm is coming.
The storm is coming, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it'd be busy, but when you see your kid doing what they love,
you don't mind it.
Yeah, you don't mind it.
That's the busyness you love, right? That's the getting out there and the sacrifice. But that's good, man.
Welcome everybody to episode 6. We had to get that right.
6.
We on 6.
6.
Episode 6 of the Unk Podcast. We want to welcome y'all to another conversation. We're continuing our conversation
on the culture.
The
culture. And we started, with our foundation last week and understanding how important that is and what it actually entails. But I like this, man, because this is a conversation. I think there's a lot of elephants in the room.
Yeah.
During this culture conversation that we're having that actually get discussed. Right. And I'm loving it because we've already started to get comments. So we already live. Our TikTok and everything is up. People have been responding. The reception has been awesome. Again, go to our TikTok. You know what? Before we go any further, if you are watching this video and you have not subscribed, you trash.
And listen, I understand now why, because I watch a bunch of YouTube. That's probably like my main source of entertainment, right?
Yeah, because you can control the content you want to.
Now, us doing this podcast, I realize why they're always like, like, subscribe, push the button. It's free. Like, it is legit free.
But right now, hit subscribe, like, notification, all that good stuff. Again, we love y'all community. Like I said, it's been great. Let's just keep the momentum going. But go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, talking about the culture, right?
Right.
We talked last episode about making sure that we have a solid foundation, right?
Because that's everything.
Right. If your foundation jacked up,
nothing else matters. Like, no matter how dope you are, no matter what, even if you're talking about content creation or whatever it is, if you don't have a solid foundation. I was watching videos yesterday on TikTok where they were saying, like, just because I got 4.3 million subscribers, right, and just because I have this and just because I have that doesn't mean that everything's okay, right? It doesn't mean that I'm struggling. It doesn't mean that I'm good. And it's one of those is because you're building your foundation was on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now, who in their right mind go build their foundation on a skateboard? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because you already know it's faulty at best.
Yeah.
And
it's shifty. The moment the culture shifts, I mean, it makes it, how many, platforms have we been through over the course of, our adulthood that was once.
The first big one for me, it was what? Black Planet,
for sure.
MySpace.
I mean, if you go back to Instant Messenger.
Ooh, you got mail. Ayo.
Yeah. You go
back you got that dial up. Right. Yeah, but it's so many, but it always changing. Even the phone. Like my phone, I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max.
You got money.
Ain't nobody bad. Well, before that, I had an 11.
Yeah.
And before that, I had a 7 Plus.
Man.
So
that's a whole nother topic.
I go into my phone, don't work no more.
Me too. I tried.
I called somebody and they couldn't hear me. It was okay. It's like they do it on purpose. But the 17 is already out.
Right.
So if I would have got the 16 Pro Max and I built everything off of that, like, oh man, this phone is great, and all my content is off the 16, the 17 is here. 16 is obsolete.
Right.
And so now I'm frustrated. Now I'm struggling now because that's what I built my foundation on. That's what I put everything into.
And foundations can't be easily moved.
They cannot.
They cannot be moved, right?
No.
Now, you're in business of construction.
Correct.
So
that's the first thing. That is the first thing that gets poured. Out here, we in Vegas, all the casinos and even the stadium, the A stadium that's being built, it goes as deep as 30, 40, 50, 60 feet deep.
Just the foundation.
Just the foundation, because the higher the building, the deeper your foundation has to be.
Okay.
So, because it has to be able to withstand the storms, it has to be able to withstand the winds and all these things. And we are technically in a seismic zone, which is why those are in Vegas. If you're water heater, it's mandatory that you have a strap on there, even though you're like, man, we don't have really, but we're in that zone. So all of that, when you're dealing your foundation, you have to look at the end. You talked about it a few episodes, like the old you.
Right.
So when I'm building my foundation, the old me has to be in my peer view. It has to be. Now, you're not going to know exactly how it's going to go, and how everything's going to be, you know what I mean? But I do know I don't want to be broke.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah.
what I do know is I don't want to live on the street.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I do know, right, is I want to be able to retire. And whatever that means for me, for some, it may be traveling. For some, it may be watching the grandkids grow up. For some,
Yeah.
but my foundation has to have that in mind.
Right.
Like you said, it cannot be. So if
you got to be thinking ahead of time.
way ahead of time. How do you move? So if you look at a stadium that's a couple thousand feet wide and long, but how deep, and that's 60 feet deep, you ain't moving that.
No.
And that is what is required before you even start.
Okay.
That is what's required. If the foundation is not set, and they test the foundation and your concrete has to cure and all that, they even test the soil before you even start.
Okay.
Like it goes.
So your soil got to be right. If your soil ain't right, you can't even lay the foundation on faulty soil.
Correct. So it goes. So it's so deep. So we have to make sure all of that before we even start. Then we get to the good stuff, as people start to say, right? Yeah. Your structure.
Okay.
Right? In your frame, which is what, and so I'll turn it to you, because today we want to more so get into the framing piece, right? And
so when we're using this analogy of
a house,
right? We're building a house, but this house is representative of an individual.
It's you.
A person.
This your house.
Right? It's us. We got to make sure our foundation is right. We talked about that last episode.
Right.
So this episode, we want to get into framing. And like I said, you're in the business of construction. Right? I mean, obviously, we can Google, right? And it says framing is what starts to lay the structure, the shape, the form.
It's your structure.
Right? But it's important because if your framing is not right, then the actual structural aspect of your house can be faulty, and that can lead to all type of problems, right? Now, is that along the right lines?
Correct.
Or?
That is correct. So you're right. That's where your structure takes place. But what we see is the walls.
Okay.
Right. So typically now, if you've been to a new build or something like that, especially if we're talking residential, if you bought a home or something, you go and you see the framing, you see the studs. Predominantly,
going to be the wood.
The wood,
right?
that's your wood. Sometimes it could be sheet metal when you're talking your commercial, but typically in the home, you're seeing your wood. Right. So that's where it starts to take shape. Mm-hmm. That's where
you start seeing the house come together.
Right. So that's where, okay, I built my foundation. This is the problem with the culture. You don't want to grind. Like, you don't want to go through. So I just want to hurry up and get walls up. Mm-hmm. So I throw walls up, but I got two studs in the middle of your wall. It ain't happening. Yeah. And so I'm trying to find the quickest way, because I like your structure. Yeah. And I like his structure. And so because I like his structure, I don't know what he took to build his. Right. I don't know how many studs that he has. All I see is the wall. All I see is the drywall. Yeah. So what we do is, what the culture promotes is, hurry up and get your walls up.
Yeah. Hurry up and get rich.
Hurry up. You don't need financial literacy. Right. You don't need to know about debt to income ratio. Hurry up.
Hurry up and get married. Hurry up and have kids.
You don't need to learn how to be a wife. You don't need to learn how to be a husband. Yeah. Well, just have kids. What I need to know how to be a dad first? Like, I need to right. Now in your situation, right? Right. But the thing is, the beauty of it is what's required. So all of my studs, though, when we're talking about the culture, is my friends, my family, any interaction I ever had, my teachers. This is why when we talk about the culture is not this small thing. Mm-hmm. And we reduce the culture now to just pop culture, and what it is, and what gets promoted the most is the worst of it. Because
especially speaking about young people,
right?
They're going to build their structure based usually off what they see, which is the danger.
That's my identity
of the negative sides of culture being what's most pushed, was what we see the most, right?
Right.
So if I'm looking at MTV Cribs back in the day, dating myself.
You remember the Red Man episode?
Sidebar. Finding out that most of them homes weren't their homes was disappointing.
Because my thing was, Why would I show the world my house? I don't want you knowing where I stay. That makes sense. I don't want you knowing where I stay.
But as a teenager, you like, I want to see how the rappers live. I want to see how the athletes
That's why Redman was my favorite episode.
Yeah, he kept it 1,000.
He was the real. He was like,
clean his house up for nothing.
None. He had his no PlayStation. Furniture. The games was right there. He's like, but no, that's
but the thing about it is like what we see is what we're gonna chase after, right? And coming from the foundation, that's I think largely your parents' responsibility, right? Like largely, that's your parents' responsibility to make sure as you're growing, you have a solid foundation. You understand what you're founded on. Now, you do have, there is going to be a point where you start pouring some of your own concrete on that foundation, right? Yeah,
because they can't, but again, with the structure, they can't build your structure for you.
Correct.
So the foundation, right, is my parents or guardian, grandparents, whomever, right, is raising you, but I give you the foundation. Yeah. Now, I'll give you the material, but you got to want to use it. You got to
frame it.
So if you again, nephew, he's getting ready to start his basketball season, high school and all that stuff. So you can give him the tools as far as, so in his house, there's a hooper room in his house.
Yeah.
Now you can, as much as you can, because you hoop, you've coached. So I can give you all the right tools to build the right structure.
Right.
So your studs are solid, so your wood is solid, because again, all wood isn't created equal. So that has to be inspected as well. So you can't just grab anything, or I'm going to just get this wood that was just
anybody.
Oh, no, sir.
You can't just hang out with anybody.
Because they have the potential to impact my room.
Yeah.
Right? They have the potential. Your friends, listen. Y'all hear me. Yeah. When you say, my friends don't influence me. Well, I can be friends with whoever I want to. I'm telling you, your friends will influence you. That is 100.
Yeah.
Your friends, good or bad, will influence you.
Yeah.
You heard the old saying, right? Whereas, and I turn it over to you after this. The old saying is, you are the average of your friends.
Exactly.
Which meaning,
or we go back to the Bible days. Bad company,
it corrupts.
So you didn't come across no new philosophy that wasn't.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Right. So no, your friends influence you for the better or for worse.
Right.
Now, if you're hanging out now, the reality is most of us, and I'm guilty of this, we wasn't paying attention to what type of foundation we were pouring, right? Because one, like you said, that's our parents. So we kind of knew what our parent standard was.
Right.
But then when it came to the framing, they give us a good parent, a good guardian is going to give you the blueprint and give you the material, like you said. Now, son, I wouldn't build a wall right there. You build a wall right there, you ain't going to have no front door. How you going to get in your house, right? That's the job now. As a parent, we start moving towards from training and disciplining. Then we get to a point where it's like we're still training, but it's more so like coaching.
You're the architect,
right? Like you're trying to.
Right.
So your friends, like we said, if you hanging around the wrong people, they're gonna influence you. Now your friends probably don't come from a place where they're worried about their foundation or their frame.
Right.
So you got a bunch of blind people,
blind leading the
blind, and all of y'all unknowingly are building your home.
Yes.
But it's chaotic, right? There's no structural walls. There's no...
And you never go back to the architect or the builder, the person who gave you the material. You gonna go to the other blind person. Don't neither one of y'all know nothing. So, man, if I put a wall here...
Blind people with hammers.
Bro.
And nails. If you got a bunch of blind people with hammers and nails, what's gonna happen? Somebody gonna get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody gonna get hurt. Your future go get hurt, right? Your current situation get hurt. Some people end up in prison. Some people end up in dead. Some people...
Because everybody's house doesn't get rebuilt.
Nah, and definitely don't get built at the same time.
No, because we think like, okay, well, it worked. And you said this with your kids, like, well, Dad, we doing all right. And you like... Hey, son, everybody's house don't get built.
Every
house that get burned down.
God's mercy,
listen,
that our house is looking the way it is. But it don't work out like that for everybody, right? And don't take the chances because Daddy's house seems to be you don't know the pain, you don't know the suffering, you don't know the tears, you don't know the frustration, the struggle, you don't know that exists in these walls. You see the nice painted.
If these walls could talk,
right?
If these walls could talk,
man. And so we're trying to bring home the point of being mindful of the framing. And when you're framing, like you said, you got to have foresight. You have to be thinking about your future. You got to be thinking about what you want your future to look like.
You do.
Because if you don't, you're building with no blueprint.
Right. And you need to connect yourself again. And this happens, and our friends are our friends, right? Typically it's who we went to school with or playing on a basketball team or that. Yeah. But once I'm in the mindset of, okay, this is what I want to do, right? Even going back to nephew. So if I want to hoop, your friends have to be just as dedicated as you, or you have to be mindful enough to know, okay, I still got to work. I got to separate. Right. Now, we still can be cool. We still can be friends. If we want to, go to the bowling alley or whatever, we can do that. But as far as this goes, I need to connect myself with people who's going to push in the same direction, right? Iron sharpens iron. Yeah. So I need my brothers. I need my sisters, my community. I need my people who, okay, nope, don't do that. We see it all with LeBron James or any of the top athletes that grew up in the hood or in the inner city. They all said the same thing. I had people looking out for me.
Right. They didn't let them.
They didn't let me
hang out on the block. They
didn't let me be the dope boy. They didn't let me do that. They didn't let. They was like, nah, you need to get out of here, man. You don't need to be here.
Yeah.
And they even look at you like, why are you here? Why are you here?
We beat you up. Right.
Right. Get out of here.
But no, that's true because, and the hard part about it is, when you're focused on something, right? Or when you decide I'm going to focus on something, a lot of times that journey can be lonely.
Man.
Because not everybody, and truthfully, most people around you, especially if you lock in at a young age, are not of the same mindset.
Sound like Noah.
So when they don't understand where you're going.
Yeah, man.
The only thing... It's almost offensive to them, right? It's offensive to them because then you start hearing them say stuff like, oh, you think you better than me. You think you better than us. And it's like, no, I don't think I'm better. I'm just focused on a particular goal.
And the crazy thing is you never said nothing.
Yeah.
That be the thing. So you was like, yeah, I'm better than y'all. You never said that. But what it is your life is reflecting on what I know I'm not.
Yeah.
See, you grinding and locking in makes me look bad because now I'm looking at my life. Yeah. Now I'm looking at what I have. So the problem is, so I get mad at you instead of, okay, let me focus on my structure. Yeah. Let me focus on, okay, nope, let's tear that wall down. We got to revisit this. No, that ain't supposed to be here. So instead of me doing that and taking accountability, what the culture preaches is then hate on the ones who don't.
Yeah.
Why are you hating on him? Because he decided to lock in, because that's why this whole... in New York, this whole socialism thing, because the rich gonna pay for it. Well, hold on now. To a certain degree, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, so because if he go and do what he's supposed to do and grind, Jeff Bezos created Amazon.
Yeah,
everything that he has, he deserved because he put the work in. So because he put the work in, now he's supposed to share with everybody else. I'm going to make him share. You didn't put the work in. You didn't grind with me.
I think everybody should, when it comes to that, pay their fair share of whatever it's going to be.
Right.
Now, if you think you're going to get a handout because my man's is more successful, then that's a mindset problem.
And that's more what I'm getting at. It's
a mindset issue, right? Because I want to be given something. I don't want to earn anything. And in that process of earning something, like I said, it can be lonely. And so for a teenager, a lot of times you're also at the same time, if you don't have a parent that's established your identity, you're looking for one.
Yeah, man.
So it's all of these things that's going on. I'm looking for identity. So I'm usually find that identity in friendships, right? Because if I hang out with this group, I'm the hooping group. But then I'm noticing I get a little older, and I'm noticing that group gets a little bit more attention from the girls. So then I
get a little bit more emotion over there.
Yeah, a little bit more emotion over there. So now I start transitioning to try to be more like them because they're getting more. So I'm looking for identity. So I'm finding it in my friendships. But then if I focus in on what I really want to do in life, then I'm really not gonna have no friends, and they look like they having fun. I don't want to sacrifice fun for my future. You're not saying these things, obviously.
No, but you're operating in it.
Thinking these things,
but your decisions.
But you're operating in
Correct.
it, right? You're operating,
yeah, man,
subconsciously in these decisions that you're making. In hindsight, us looking back, me looking back at my younger self, this is what I was doing, right? If I would have locked in,
yeah,
who knows how much further in life I would be,
man,
right? And it's not just materialistically, but emotionally, spiritually. Right? Yeah. All of those things. I would be much further along if I would have just focused on my structure and what God instructed my structure to look like. I'm not building my structure, like you said earlier, to look like Chris's. Like, why he got 3-car garage? I only got a 2-car garage.
Not realizing my garage door stays closed because it ain't finished.
Right.
Like, you look on the outside.
You don't know why.
Yeah.
And that's really none of your concern. And that's, like, again, that's when we get into, chasing after people, keeping up with the Joneses type of, mentality. But when we're framing this house, right, like you said, our friendships are important.
Because
our interactions are important.
Dude.
Our beliefs that we extract from the culture and from experiences are important, because this is what we're framing our house. Now, what happens, again, from a construction standpoint, if my framing ain't right? Like, what does that do? Like, how can that cause problems?
Well, depending on where you at, like, it has a bunch of different results. Because let's just take water damage, right? So even in water damage, right? So water damage, most people know water damage will lead to mold. Now, the thing with water damage is, and we tell people this all the time, we like, listen, because where the leak is, or where you see the water, isn't necessarily where the leak is, because it's going to find the path of least resistance. Okay. So you may go in your garage one day and then you see this water stain and you like, bro, the tub, you go upstairs, the tub is fine, this is good. It's like, that ain't it. But then it's your spare bedroom or the kids' bedroom that's way on the other side of the house, they have a leak in the wall. So, but if I'm not doing it correctly, and then also when my stud is in there, what type of material am I using in there, right? Because if I'm using like a PVC, like a plastic, but I don't guard it with anything, so when it's rubbing up against the sheet metal, it has the tension to cut. Okay. So it can get termite damage, right? So you got all these little people eating away at the inside, those internal things that well, that's YouTube. So I was gonna say the P word, but yeah. If you on Cornhub, right, and don't understand how spiritually and emotionally that deteriorates the inside. Right. So you looking at the frame, so everybody looking at the outside, but slowly but surely, all these little things, I'll never measure up. Yeah. I'm looking at the community, and I'm looking at TikTok, and I'm looking at Instagram and what he's doing in his posts and that post. And so those things, now in my room, you don't see it.
Yeah. Everything's to look good.
Man, but in the walls, you got water damage. Because all you do is cry. Because, man, they going on a trip. This is married people. Married people, hear me. Get off of IG. Because all you do is y'all just compare with each other. Like, you just, they gonna go on a trip. Babe, hey, we going to Hawaii. Like, wait a minute. Like,
we just came from somewhere. Like
what you mean? With whose money, right? But so we'll go into debt. We'll do all these things, but it's all the comparison. Yeah. It's all these things, and these are in my walls. These are in my studs. And when it's wood, it's even more susceptible to these things because it's natural. That's why my friendships and who I align myself with, these are my studs in the rooms, because when my drywall goes up and the texture and all that, it has to be able to withstand the internal things. So I need to make sure it's cleared out. I have to make sure there is no mold damage. I have to make sure that I am using the right piping. I am using all these things. Yeah. So that way my house can stand successfully. Now, the beauty of it is the older we get, right, we remodel.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So the older we get, we remodel. Yeah. Now, when we're remodeling, you cannot remove a load-bearing wall. Yeah. Right?
And what's a load-bearing wall?
So a load-bearing wall would be, those are my values.
Okay.
See, those, no matter what happens, the things that you instill in my niece and baby girl, like, no, don't align yourself with no fool.
Yeah.
you worth too much.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So like Jesus would be our load bearer.
Exactly. You remove him, everything gone.
Yeah.
Like, because the house cannot stand. In every house and every building and everywhere, there are load bearing walls. So there are walls that are required. These cannot be removed. There has to be some structural integrity things that has to change in order for this wall to be moved. Okay. So my values, my foundation, no matter what you like, no matter what you do, if you value yourself, this is for men and women, for boys and girls. Yeah. If you value yourself, right? I'm not going to align myself with a serial skeeter. Yeah. When I value myself, I'm not going to allow myself with a serial collector. Yeah. Because it ain't nothing you can do for me. Right. Because my foundation, like, I know I'm worth something.
And I can see that your structure ain't all the way right. That your foundation a little crooked.
Yeah, you in a shack.
Your driveway cracked. And ain't no, you know what I mean? Ain't no earthquakes been going on.
I got a flat tire driving to your house.
Right.
And I'm still I'm still going to keep going.
That's good, because I think, especially when it comes to young people now, when we started getting to our age, that's when the remodels start happening, right? Yeah. Because a lot of, like you were saying earlier, a lot of our friendships are built on proximity, right? We're close to each other. So we become friends because we're in the same class. We go to the same school. We play on the same team.
Right.
Then after high school, you realize how many friends you really don't have. Right? Because y'all was only talking as much as y'all was talking because y'all are right next to each other, right? Y'all see each other every day.
Stay in the same neighborhood.
Y'all stay in the same neighborhood. Now everybody grown, everybody moving around, people going to college, people joining the workforce, right? So everybody's really kicking off their adulthood, and then you realize, like, yeah, I guess we really wasn't that. But if you put that person, or you allow that person to be a stud in your structure, right? It's hard to remove studs.
It is, because you
once the drywall is up.
Yeah, because you done projects in homes and stuff like that. Like,
it's a mess,
and you got to take it all the way down. What they say, strip it down to the studs. Right. Everything that was attached to it gotta go,
and that's a lot.
That's a lot. So all the stuff that I put on the walls, all the pictures, all the stuff that I let people see, like, look at what I got.
That I adopted from hanging out with people who were like, you don't really need Jesus. All these things, right? Now, when you realize, like, oh man, that person really wasn't somebody I should have been attached to.
They wasn't for me.
Now you gotta now it takes pride. I mean, the lack of pride.
You got to humility. You got to humble yourself
and say, I was wrong.
Right.
But now, like we said in earlier episodes, because you made the decisions, you have to live with the consequences. The consequences of that is, I got to make a mess now to remodel this wall. I got to tear this whole wall down to the studs.
And if it's a water damage issue and I got to replace the water, you got to cut the water off to the house.
You got to cut the water off to the house, the water damage. And like you said, if it's happening somewhere across the house, this might be catastrophic.
The worst thing is having mold in the area where there's no water. Like, if you got mold,
you got problems and you don't even know where the source is.
Because now I have to tear down everything. And I have to find it.
And usually before that happens, before you tear down everything, usually from a person's perspective, you hurt a bunch of people in the process. Because you have a problem, you can't source it, but yet it's everybody else's fault when they point out the mold. I think that might be mold. That ain't mold. I think you might have an attitude problem. It's y'all, right? This is
just the way I am.
Right. So everybody has to deal with your mold.
No, what happens is people stop.
Well, eventually.
So
if they got some sense.
Yeah, because people, you know what? You stay in your moldy house. Me and my kids ain't coming over there. Like,
every time I get around you, I get sick.
You know what I'm saying? Now I got to go to the doctor. I'm calling the health inspector. I'm called the building inspector.
And that's the thing, man. It's like and then once you realize, hopefully you realize, right? Because some people, I think, don't ever realize, like, you have a problem. I think some people go throughout life making everybody else the problem, and they never look inward, right? They never tear the drywall down to inspect the studs. They don't ever come to the point where they have to, I need to remodel my house. Some people might even have to tear it down to the foundation. and completely rebuild it. But we never get there. We just do the easy thing and patch it.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna deal with the potential leak. We just gonna cut this piece of drywall off that's molded and put new drywall up.
Yeah, so we'll cut the angle stops off in that sink and just never use that bathroom again. Like we'll never. Somebody go flush toilet like why? Because we just decide instead of dealing with it and getting down to the root of it and actually doing it. Sound like a lot of grown people. Instead of dealing with all of my issues, and this is where when we talk about, in the relationships, and we talk about the single mothers, and we talk about, and all these things, what you have to understand is when that happens, and like I said, this is one of the things I appreciate you about, even with your situation, and you've always been upfront and honest, but you're like, dude, I'm responsible for me being here.
Yeah. And
so whenever, new situation arises, before I can bring anybody else in this situation, I need to make sure, what happened?
Right.
What caused this to happen? Now, because typically we don't take accountability. What we'll say is he was at fault. He was a deadbeat. He don't want to be involved. But you got with him.
Right. We're not going to judge that part.
Right. Like you'll say, man, all she want to do, man, she just want to collect and she keeping the kids from me. You got with her.
Right.
So before we go any further, what got me here?
Yeah.
What decisions did I make? Let's tear this thing down to figure out why. Because this new structure I'll build, I want to make sure I'm building this right. Yeah. And so what a lot of times do as an adult, we feel like, oh man, I got it. I ain't gonna deal with all. I'll just hide this over here. And we just like, eventually, you can't keep putting dirt and clothes and stuff under the rug. Eventually, you got to take the clothes out and wash it. Right. Like you can't just keep stashing stuff. What you gonna keep buying clothes? You gonna keep buying.
And I think that's why, once we get into marriages, a lot of them struggle and a lot of them fail is because we haven't dealt with the mold. We haven't dealt with the faulty studs. We haven't dealt with the cracks in the foundation. So we get with somebody. And guess what? They're going to point them out.
All of them. All the time.
Because they're with you 24/7.
The person who's with you, the person who you are with the most, they offend you the most. So the friends that you hang out with the most, those are the friends that offend you the most.
Right.
Your spouse, your wife, or your husband, they are going to offend you the most. Yeah. Because they see everything.
Right. And if you have a good spouse, they're going to point it out in a loving way. Like. Or not.
Your loving way.
You know what I mean? Or their loving way.
Because my wife, so I'm fat. So.
But maybe for some of us, they know how things need to be communicated. Like for me, I'm not a big, don't try to fluff up what you're saying to me. Right? Like, obviously, I'm not saying be disrespectful.
Just give it to me straight.
Just tell me what it is.
Give it
what
to
is
me.
it?
Right.
I don't need you to be like, stop that.
Excuse me, Mr. Simon, your card has declined. Okay.
Right. You have no money.
Right. They'll be like, can you
well, maybe it's the card. I know it was.
You knew you ain't got no money.
When I swiped the card, I was like,
you was hoping.
Please go through, right? But sometimes, obviously communication, how people receive communication can be different, but a good spouse is going to communicate with you and they're going to show you your faults. They're going to come up. Even if they don't point them out, you should be mindful enough to be like, man, every time my wife do that, I really get upset.
Why that still bother you?
Why do I get that upset?
Why did that still bother you? Like, why does the fact that, man, and she knowing, I'm like, what does it matter?
And I told my wife last night, we were talking, I was like, I constantly try to stay in a place of self-analysis, right? Because I think
self-awareness.
You have to be mature and to be an adult where you're growing, right? I think you have to be in a place of self-critique all the time.
You have to.
Because if you always looking at what everybody else is doing, you never focus in on yourself. And so you're never growing. You're just pointing out why everybody else is not growing. So all of y'all are in the same position, right? You're no better. You're just the one pointing fingers, right? But if I have to, and that it can be hard, right? Because we were talking about justice.
And that requires you, right, to be self-aware. Yeah. Because if I just adapt, so if I just be like this person.
You're the average of your friends.
Correct. So I'm gonna be like this person. So when that's not the thing anymore, right. I'm gonna be like this person.
And when you lock in and focus on yourself, right? Like, you start developing that fruit, and then you're gonna start weeding out those people, those ideas, those thoughts, right. those beliefs that have no space to be where you are now, right? So if I'm saying, man, I'm about to lose some weight, right? And I know since we, were called out,
yeah,
I was the old rapper.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
Which I've started,
But if I'm with you,
yeah,
I mean, boy, I'm with you a lot, right, during the week. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I am. I'm using the example, right? But yeah, I know Chris want to lose weight, but I'm always like, bro, let's go get some McDonald's. Bro, let's go. And you're like, I'm telling you, eventually, because it's already hard enough to like stick to a strict diet because your body wants what it wants.
Right.
You all right, man. I'll go to McDonald's with you. I'll go to Cane's with you. Now I done deterred you away from what your goal. Mm-hmm. But we don't see it that way, right? We just like, it's just McDonald's.
But we got to mature to the point to where you like, hey, bro, I'm finna run to McDonald's. You can't go to McDonald's and cool. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's another problem. Like, instead of maturing to the space to where I'm good, it's not about me.
Yeah.
So if we all we all at work and we all going to lunch, we going to McDonald's, I can go. I don't have to get anything.
Right.
I'm just going to go kick it. Like, why do you got to isolate yourself? Yeah. See, I have to, but that's where that maturity and everything comes in. So I get your premise as far as not wanting to.
I mean, you should want to be around people that's mindful of your goals.
Right. So I'm looking at it from perspective is I know you're not trying to lure me, but you're like, hey man, we going. All right, let's go.
And some people may not intentionally be trying to ruin you, but they want what they want.
Exactly.
So I want to hang out with you. I want you to go with me here. I want you, rather than realizing like, hey, my bro is on a mission. I gotta let him cook. I gotta let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I get time, or when he gets time, then we'll connect. But because I want what I want,
sound like a child.
I don't even care what you got going on. Either you give me what I want from you, or I'm offended now.
Sound like our kids, because our kids want what they want when they want it. That's
when they don't get it. Depending on the age, they cry about it.
Yeah.
Now, when you're a baby, there's a little grace there. Like, hey, be quiet. The older you get, you like, play with me if you want to. We can go talk about it, right? Stop it.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of adults,
kids
that behave in that same way.
Kids.
I want what I want from you, and if you're not giving it to me, then I'm mad. We're not friends,
and I'm gonna leave. And we're not gonna be in a relationship. Right? We're not gonna stay married.
And there's no consideration. There's no grace, or there's no patience in the sense of being able to realize like, oh, he's raising a family. He got X amount of kids. All his kids are involved in something. He might not be the person that I'm on the phone with, that I'm hanging out with,
right,
24/7.
We trying to make friends. We trying to make people. There's certain relationships that just it ain't.
Does that mean that? I mean, there's always room for growth in everyone, right? There's always room for improvement. But what we're saying is, like, when it comes to framing your house, when it comes to framing your life, you need to be around people, like you said, that are pushing you in the same direction. And that same direction sometimes comes in the form of critique. Sometimes that comes in the form of correction, right? I want you, son, to be the best hooper that you can be. So I need to tell you right now, you're lazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you saying you want,
yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing that. So
now when you get out there and you get cooked, now I'm the dad that's gonna be like, man, you gonna let him film. Man, you gonna let him do you like that? Man, you better do something back.
I'm in the stand yelling, get him out your game, coach. Sup? Right? Like, I'm that person. But you're not gonna be able to say like, yo, my dad wasn't pushing me, I just didn't want it. Right? So if you don't accomplish it, it's either one, just wasn't in God's will for your life, right? But wherever as far as you took basketball, cool. Right. Now you can enjoy it from a hobby perspective, or if you continue to go with it. Like, you understand, like, to go to the next level, this requires that. And when it comes to framing your house and framing your life or remodeling, like, I'm at the point where, like, you start getting into this point of life where you feel like you almost in cruise control. Like,
yep.
I'm not there yet, but I am feeling like, okay,
I'm on my way to pushing the button.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
I'm on my way to pushing the button for cruise control.
I need to make, right? And a lot of the remodels that I need to make come from a personal perspective. Like, it's the discipline, it's the consistency in certain areas of my life, right?
Right.
But from a young person standpoint, like, it's so crucial for y'all to be paying attention to how you're framing, who you're with, what you're thinking, what you're consuming, what you're listening to, because all of that is framing your structure, is framing your house. Man. And if you don't frame it in the right way, then you're going to realize later in adulthood, I got to tear all this down.
And the worst place to be is need to remodel with no money. you need to remodel and you broke.
Yeah.
That's just a bad situation
now
altogether.
Money be in a form of outside of, like, obviously the material.
Right.
But now you're so emotionally damaged that you don't even have the wherewithal to make the changes.
Then we lie to ourselves and say, like, I'm just such in a space. I don't need nobody right now. I want to be. You lying.
Right.
We all need somebody.
Yeah.
And this ain't even talking about relationships. This is just friends, people. Like, we need encouragement. We need to link ourselves. I'm to a place now, again, talking about the cruise control remodel. The remodel for me is I'm more than open to relationships, to locking up, but it's solely you're going in the same direction I am.
Right. Absolutely.
This is, I don't know how true it is, but I saw the report because somebody asked me about, we were at work and they were like, man, Travis Hunter, and we were talking about his girl. And, he was at the Heisman Trophy ceremony and all this and all of that, and her mom had to tell her to stand up and all this. I said, listen, if I'm his dad, bro, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And if you do, get a prenup.
And a cool part about that situation is a lot of us make conclusions, jump to conclusions, and you have no context of the situation, right?
Right.
Now, if it is what it is, then like you said, you got to do what you got to do. But a lot of from the outside in, we can make a judgment. Mm-hmm. But from the inside out, it was a completely different story, right? My thing was, listen, that's that man's life, right?
But he asked me, but the thing I was saying was he asked me from like a dad's perspective.
No, for sure.
Right. So he was
like
saying, my son,
like,
I was like,
son,
absolutely not.
If the context what it was.
In this kingdom?
Yeah. If the context
kingdom?
If I'm around and I got to tell you, hey, like, he just want to get up, I'll be like, you better watch shorty. Hey. But from the other side of it,
yep,
we don't know exactly what happened. And at the end of the day, that's his life, right? How you out here, everybody out here pointing at Travis Hunter's situation. What's your marriage like?
Listen.
Is your wife happy?
Listen.
Is your husband happy? Like, is your girl wondering if you coming home tonight?
We ain't talking about me right now.
Exactly, right?
That's why I stay pointing at other people. That's why I got to stay and look at what everybody else doing. Because because when I look at me, I don't like me. Right. I hate my walls. I hate my house.
So to make myself feel better, I got to make the next man feel little.
Do you know there's
eyes.
Do you know this? I just thought about this. It makes sense now. Why some people that emotional or that disconnect they have and don't want to link themselves with people of any substance, because I don't have anything in my house. There's no studs. There's nothing. All I have is just the outer shell.
Like we said from last episode, they have nothing to offer you.
Nothing. And it's just the outer shell.
Just because you're older, that doesn't mean that your pantry of offering is flourishing with stuff. Like, you're just old and empty, right? Just because you get older don't mean that you
dilapidated.
You get substance as you get older.
Dilapidated.
No, like, you're just you the old house at the end of the block that, like, even the dope boys don't want
nobody go to,
right? Like, you can't even be a dope house because you don't like
you can't help the crackheads.
Nothing to offer, bro. Nothing to offer. And the sad part is like the older, and I think young people see that.
And they're like, I'm cool.
Young people see how empty some of the adults in their lives is, and then you have the nerve to want to tell me something. I think that's like, if if you're a parent
Mm-hmm.
and your kids see men or women in and out of the house, you can't keep a relationship.
You got a whole lot of uncles and
you
TTs.
Can't keep a job, but yet you want to tell me
I got to do my homework.
I got to do my homework. Do your homework. Sit down somewhere.
If they could.
Go to work. Like,
if they could. That's a non-negotiable. If they could. They like their life. But you're right. That is.
And it's just because your age don't mean that your structure is right. You can just be an old
dummy.
Termite infested, water damaged.
I don't know what it is. I'm such a good person. I don't know why. You know what? It's everybody else.
You know what?
It's not me.
That person on the side of the road who's dancing to no music believes they hear music. You can't tell them nothing.
Hey,
You're living in a space of delusion. You are,
he might.
You are in his head he is.
Yeah.
Just like in your head, you're a great person and you're this and you're that. And I'm not saying you're not a great person as far as like your potential. But there's obviously some leaks. There's obviously might be a little damage. There might be some walls that need to come down, some beliefs that need to come down in order for people to see what you already know about yourself.
But I got to let them in, though.
But you got to let people in.
I got to let them in. Most of us...
Who are we letting in?
That's the thing. And I have to get to a place. Like I said, I'm at the place now where I'm more than willing to connect, have new friendships, new relationships, but it has to be going in the same direction that I'm going.
Right.
That's why when I brought up to Travis Hunter, it's like, son, is she going in the same direction that you're going?
Yeah.
Right? It's because if I have to stop and go get her, she ain't the one.
Right.
I mean, you could call it what it is. But as for me and my house and my kingdom, son, this is you locked in. This is what we saying we doing. This is what we grinding. Okay, this is what we going to. Yeah. Anyone or anything that causes you to stop that's not on the way, that's not for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
It's not. And so, but what we do is, I don't have any purpose. I want to do anything. So I don't have any substance whatsoever. Like I said, so I don't connect myself. I don't even have people now, because of gaming and social media we don't even have actual relationships anymore. It's like we friends with people who, I know his gamer tag, and I know this. Yeah. And so how can an online friend hold you accountable? Like, how can you reach out to an online friend? How can you, and I'm not saying.
And because they don't see that every day.
Right.
They can't. It's impossible. You're in two different locations. Even if you're in the same city, like you're in two different locations. And I think that face-to-face aspect of relationships is being lost with the advancement of technology for sure. I think because that people are not okay with confrontation. So I think the art of communication is being lost.
Put the phones down.
Relationships.
Well, subscribe first. Then put the phones down.
Like the relationships are dying. I was watching something yesterday and it came across. It was on another talk show on TV where they're saying the average married couple only talk 15 minutes a week.
A week?
Outside of the logistics of family, right? So they talk to their wives and their husbands about, oh, we got to take the kids here, and they got a doctor appointment here, and we got to run here, and we got to do this, and I got to go to the house store and get groceries. They have those communications, but they don't have like the conversation we're having. We want to talk about my feelings. We want to talk about life. We want to talk about future. We want to talk about goals. We don't talk about that stuff. It's just business. And a lot of relationships fail because it's just business. There's really no substance. We're just doing what we have to do, and life is just passing us by. And then we look up and we like act like, oh, we've been married 25 years. But what is those 20? Well, like, what's the weight of them 25 years? How deep is that foundation? Or have we just been like the little
just
things
existing
on the car lots, just blowing with the wind? Like, we ain't going nowhere, but we just blow with the wind, right? Like for me and my house, like I want. At the end of the day, all of the logistic is for naught. Like, right, when we die, really none of it matters.
None of it goes with us.
So, though there has to be, those things have to be on point, right? Like, we need to have our affairs in order. We need to operate in excellence. But that's not going to dominate my marriage. That's not going to dominate the conversations that me and my wife have. That's not going to dominate the conversation in my head. Like, I need to make sure that I'm focusing on those things that matter. What is those things that matter for us? This being a Christian podcast is, like we said, protecting the crown of Jesus. That's what matters. His mission, his perspective, his goal for us in this temporary lifetime. That's what matters.
That's the crown.
All the other stuff.
That's the crown.
That's gonna go away. You right? And so when I think about it, I'm like, man, we get so bent up out of shape about stuff that at the end of the day doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But what does matter, and what we do want to, end this podcast saying, this episode, not the podcast, but this episode is like, be mindful.
I was about to say, I'm like, bro, it's over.
Well, six we're done.
I was like, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, no,
like, nah,
y'all know that.
yeah.
But this episode, like, be mindful of who you're building your life with, right? Be mindful of the things that you're consuming, the belief, like.
Some of us need a home inspection. Some of us need a home inspection. Have people in your life that can go in these different rooms, your finances, your friendships, your relationships, that are, they're competent in those areas, and they can be trusted and say, hey, man, is this solid? Is this good? Like, I was going to do this here. Like, why? Because that is how you prevent that from happening. That is how you prevent 20 years of nothing from happening.
There's wisdom in a multitude of counselors.
Absolutely.
So find some godly.
Make sure they wise counselors.
Wise counselors.
Wise.
Not
counselors.
Nobody online.
Wise.
Online is like
counselors.
Like a condiment. You need to find somebody that's
ketchup.
They actually cook the meal for you.
Oh, they like ranch?
Like, you need to go to transformation.
Reformation.
I always say that.
That's
like,
Mike
always.
Yeah, Reformation.
That's the culture, bro.
That's the culture got you. The culture got you.
It got me, bro. I always say, I swear I always say that. Reformation.
So you done sent people to Oklahoma City.
I did not.
And they was looking for me.
I had to get it right? I have to get it right. But Reformation.
Right.
You need to go to Reformation. You need to go to Destiny Christian Center, right? Like, find a
place.
Get
connected.
Get locked in, and find you a good multitude of counselors, right? That'll help you and then listen. I didn't listen.
I think that's a good place to end it.
I didn't listen.
Listen.
Just listen.
Just listen.
It's easier to listen.
Shut up.
Than it is to fix.
Listen. Why did shut up? That's what some of y'all need to hear right now. When you get ready to start talking, well, I thought, shut up. I want you to hear Uncle Chris. When you get ready to talk too much, well, I thought, shut up. Like, that's, I think that's good. Like, that's a good place to stop.
Well, we love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Amen.
Watching this episode.
Always. Again, shout out to the team here. Again,
subscribe
right now, hit it again. Tell your friend, go hit it right now. But again, shout out to Sean, man, S. Dot, and man, Cartree, Crystal. Hey, listen, man, we appreciate y'all. Hey, listen, get down here, get plugged in. It's an awesome place to be. Awesome people, great content.
Y'all see it? It's quality.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Oh, hold on. Let me.
What you about to show them? Hey. Lock in with the Unk Podcast hoodies.
Can they see?
Hey, listen. Hey, that hoodie look good on you, bro.
I mean, and this is good quality, too. It's good
sweating.
Quality. Hey, I'm on the verge of sweat. Like, all right, y'all. If we go 2 more minutes, I'm in trouble. Be good. But we love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Again, get in the comments. Let's conversate. Let's make this what it is. But we appreciate y'all. Have a great week, and we will see y'all next week. Peace.